Last year, Harry Styles released a photo shoot in which he wore a dress and a suit jacket. This, he claimed, was nothing to do with gender or sexuality, and was just a look he was comfortable in. Personally, I loved this, and I've been looking for an excuse to wear it ever since, but it did make me think. It's one thing to wear this on the cover of Vogue, but another thing to wear it through Dundee on a cold spring afternoon. So, I'm going to try it. I'm going to be swapping my many suits for just that look, and I'm going to see how the people of Dundee react to it. More importantly, I'm going to see how I react to it. I want to know if I'm comfortable enough in my masculinity to be able to just enjoy it, and we'll see how it goes. First things first, I've acquired 3 dresses from my flatmate to try on. So that we're recreating the Harry Styles look as opposed to just being Kurt Cobain in the early 90s, I will be wearing a suit jacket with it. I quite like this. I think this is the sort of thing I could wear to a first date and the girl will be like, oh, he made an effort. The thing I did discover though is that lady buttons are on the other side and my brain couldn't comprehend this and I spent way too long trying to do these up. So I think this might be our look for today. I really like it. I feel like it's a nice spring day and it'll be great. So long as it doesn't start raining, in which case I may be charged with public indecency. But until then, I'm enjoying this. We're about 100 metres from my front door just now, and honestly so far I think it's been more about my own self-consciousness than anyone actually caring. We're in quite a student-y area which I feel more confident about, but alright so far. I'm currently wearing the dress with my standard issue trainers, and I have some wonderful Lily Allen vibes going on just now, which I do not hate. I feel like I've developed a model walk from doing this. So currently we're right in the middle of the university, and honestly, it's been fine. Had a few glances, a few little side eyes, but I'm choosing to believe that's just because I look quite so pretty in this. The other thing I've noticed though is there's a little bit of a breeze, and I'm quite glad that I neither shaved my legs for this, nor went true Scotsman. Am I allowed to show my underwear on the BBC? I can't help but feel, you know, what would my football team think if they saw this right now? So we started getting a few little responses. We had our first tap from an old woman, which was lovely. We had some children kind of like pointing and laughing, not in a cruel way, but just, you know, kind of that's a thing that's a different way. And it does make me a little bit sad that even from that age, it must be about 4 or 5, they've already started to just gender the way people dress. And most surprisingly to me, we got a couple of dudes probably about my age who just really loudly and pointedly said, you know, each to their own, and it was one of those things, they didn't need to say it that loud that I could hear it, and it was clearly they were trying to make a point in some way, but you know, it's not been as bad as I was expecting. So I've been wandering around Dundee for a couple of hours. We've come to the end of our journey for today, and honestly, the reaction's been fine. There have been the few little things that I've mentioned, but I'm really proud of the city for the fact that no one really seems to care. I will say I'm slightly ashamed of myself. I think the bigger issue is my own self-consciousness. You know, I was always kind of looking over my shoulder. I was always that little bit paranoid that someone would be talking or saying something, but it never happened, and I think I've grown into it. I've grown more confident, and although I might never steal Harry Styles' teen idol sensibilities, I think I look pretty good, and I can imagine myself, you know, wearing this down to the shops. I think that a lot of issues with men's mental health just now comes from us still regarding a lot of emotions, a lot of being openness as being very feminine, and we need to degender things like that. And I think that by even just degendering clothing, it's a nice start for these things, and we can start to work towards it. So the only thing left to do is try and recreate the photos from Vogue